Hey everybody, I'm Josh and welcome to another episode of Just Sayin. Thank you. It is going to be a great show this week, so let's get it started by asking the question, what is Josh drinking? And on the show today, I'm drinking good old Mountain Dew. Refreshing. I don't know why we continue to do that bit. It's always going to be Mountain Dew. I don't know. Anyway. Producer Man's back this week. I won that argument. He's like, I'm going to get a standing ovation. No, you're not. You can't clap now for it. No, that doesn't count. They like me better. They came while you were gone. If they didn't like me and only came for you, then they wouldn't have come. That did not sound right. It's going to be an interesting show today. Just telling you. My allergies are kicking up. My eyes are itchy. My dog is itchy. Her allergies are acting up. I don't know what's going on. Well, I know what's going on. It's harvest, and I live in central Illinois. And it means dust everywhere. So, I do have to say, though, this is crazy. The last few days, it's been 80 degrees. Yes, starting yesterday, today is Saturday, starting yesterday, it was like 53. Last night, the low was 43. I mean, it's just plummeted. Which I like this weather anyway, because I can always put more layers on. Once you're naked, you can still be sweating bullets and not be able to take anything off, but when you're shivering, you can always put more layers on. Anyway, or something thicker. Anyway. So, what did I have to tell you today? Producer Man's back. It's week 2 of our Spooktacular month, as well as Dog Adoption Month. And I just want to give a big shout out to my dog groomer, who I will talk about next episode, because I don't have her permission. It just popped into my head. I want to talk to her about talking about her. Anyway, also big shout out to my girl at the hair cuttery. I just got my hair did. I like it. It's obviously dry right now, so it's not doing what I want it to do. And I think I'm the only gay man in the world that doesn't use product in my hair. I just don't like using product. I don't know. I train it for the last 3 years, this has been my hairdo. It's pretty much trained to go that way. I did have it at one point I did have it parted the other side. I don't know why I switched sides. Anyway, little insight into my life. That's right. Let's move on. It's time for the rundown. I have an announcement to make. That's right. I get to put another $1 in the bucket. Well, ticket in the bucket. We have 57 subscribers now. For those of you who do not know what I'm talking about, I started the season with 49 subscribers. And every year I do this, where if for every new subscriber I get this season and all season long, I will donate $1 up to $50 to Toys for Tots, which would put me at 99 subscribers. My goal is 100 subscribers. So if I get 51 or more subscribers and reach that goal of 100 subscribers, I will double it and donate $100 to Toys for Tots. So please, literally, if not for me, click that subscribe button. Let's help the less fortunate have a better Christmas this year. And I've gotten a lot of emails because I didn't talk about it last week because I actually filmed on my birthday, so I couldn't tell you how my birthday went. It sucked. It was top 5 of my worst birthdays. I'm used to having horrible birthdays though. Like, don't feel bad. It's repetitive. I get my hopes up and then like a couple years ago, my friend Ben passed away the day before my birthday. Then my mom passed away. It was the first one after my mom passed away, and I was turning 40. And this year, I was supposed to go to Chicago, like I mentioned, and do the sightseeing stuff. Well, that fell through, as I mentioned. And then I made plans with somebody else to come over and just watch a movie. Just hang out, order pizza, watch a movie. They never showed up. So then I called another friend and I told him what was going on, and I was kind of upset. And she's like, well, just come over. We'll do it here. I'm like, okay. So I'm halfway to her house. She calls me and she's like, you're going to kill me. I forgot I already had plans. So I literally did nothing on my birthday but sit here and work on the show. So happy birthday to you? I don't know. But like I said, I'm used to... When I was a kid, I would always have parties. I'm sorry, my dog's over here snoring because she's in trouble. I used to always do things when I was younger for what everybody that was coming to the party wanted to do. Because I wanted them to have fun. And never really focused on me. Well, I'm trying to focus on me, and it falls through. Wah, wah. So yeah. But like I said, it was okay. I'm fine. I'm good. I'm good. Like I said, I'm used to it. Anyway. So, anyway, because you always say, when people ask you how was your birthday, and you're like, oh, it was great. They're like, okay, cool, and move on. But every time you say, like, oh, my birthday sucked, then they have to follow up with why. You know? I always, if somebody said that to me, I'd be like, oh, that sucks, and walk away. And then I have to tell the whole story again. Anyway, so quit asking. It was a horrible birthday. I'm fine with it. I'm over it. Next year's going to be better. Anyway. So, like I said, Producer Man is back. He is here for this week and next week. Then we don't know. But we only have... This hit me earlier when I was... I don't know why. I did the entire show. I got the folder out to update my little check sheet that I have for each episode. And it dawned on me, including this episode, we have 5 left. We have the rest of this month and 1 in November. And it's over. There's 5 weeks to October, which is, I think, why I'm getting thrown off. But anyway. So, yeah. We only have 5 episodes left, people. What are you going to do without me during the holidays? I'm not even going to tell you I'm going to do a Christmas episode, because every time I do, I don't. So if I don't tell you I'm doing one, maybe I'll do one. Anyway. Let's get into the news. Kevin McCarthy, the former Speaker of the House, hence I said former, was ousted from his position as Speaker of the House because Matt Gaetz is a big fat baby. Basically, he negotiated and came to terms with the Democrats who, in order to stop a government shutdown and hundreds of people and thousands of people going without pay, like during Trump era, McCarthy realized, hey, maybe we shouldn't do that and work together. And so Matt Gaetz threw a big hissy fit, like children do when they can't get a toy at the store. And they put him up for a vote, and it was a vote of 216 to 210. So he is no longer Speaker of the House. However, if I read the article correctly, he can run again. But if you just got ousted, why do you think you'd win again? I mean, granted, all he did was work together to save people from not having a paycheck. I'm so glad Matt Gaetz is focused on what matters and not just about, I'm a Republican, you're a Democrat, I hate your guts. Get over it. Here's another story out of D.C. This is Commander, Joe Biden's dog. He's kicked out of the White House. That's right. The Commander-in-Chief's dog has been kicked out of the White House for biting people. Apparently, there are a lot more biting incidences. There's much more situations of the dog biting than have actually been reported. Only a few have been reported, and up to at least 12 is what's known right now. But yeah, even a guy who trains the dogs for the FBI came forward and said there's no way this dog has passed obedience school. Anyway. Kanye West, speaking of big babies, Kanye West was at a manicure pedicure place with a rapper friend of his when halfway through his pedicure he got up, said it hurt too much, and walked out. Look, you hate the gays, okay? Gays can stand that pain. You can't? Who's more masculine now? It's a freaking pedicure. I've never had one, but I want one. Because my toes are schnasty. My feet are schnasty. I hate feet, though. I hate people touching my feet. I hate people looking at my feet. My feet are always covered. Even when I sleep, which my mom always made fun of me for. How can you sleep with your feet in socks? I don't know. Anyway. So the production company, or the producers of the show, the Netflix original series Love is Blind, are under some hot water. There was a female... Oops, that's 2 stories behind. There we go. There was a female contestant named Tran Dang, from season 5, who was never featured in the season. She claims that she got engaged to a guy named Thomas Smith on the show, and while they were filming in Mexico, he sexually assaulted her, alleging he, quote, insistently groped her, end quote, exposed his naked body to her, and, quote, forcibly and repeatedly made sexual contact without her consent, end quote. She told the producers, and they kind of just laughed it off, is what she's claiming. So, yeah. Anyway, maybe that's why she was never featured in the shows, because she brought that up. I don't know. I'm not saying they're being stupid, but that's a serious allegation. I mean, a guy won a dating show back in the 70s and turned out to be a serial killer. So, I mean, you have to take stuff like that seriously, especially this time in this day and age with the Me Too movement. You know how many people are going to quit watching the show? I will, because I've never seen it. And finally, here's some sad news for Illinoisans. Former Bears legendary linebacker Dick Buck has passed away. He was the Chicago Bear of ever. He was part of the team that won it back in the 80s. And a lot of people have come forward in the football world. I'm sorry, not just in the football world. Bill Belichick stated, quote, the prototype of a linebacker from his playing style to the look to his ads. He was a Chicago Bear if there ever was one, end quote. President Obama even came forward. Obviously, he was a big wig up in Chicago. He said that Dick Butkus was football in Chicago. He was football. He made Chicago Bears what they are today. I'm sorry. He made the Chicago Bears what they used to be, and now they just suck. Anyway, that is the rundown. Let's go ahead and get into this sketch. Now, I've mentioned before that when I was a kid, I grew up loving and playing and everything Power Ranger. And just recently, the final season of the original story, while it's after 30 years has ended, for the past 30 years they've been filming in Switzerland or Sweden, one of the two. But they are no longer, a new company bought them. They're no longer going to be filming there. So they wanted to tie all of the shows together, other than just when Zordon was killed, and especially bring in the newer versions of what since then. And it kind of played off of the Once and Always. It kind of was that Once and Always, Power Rangers Once and Always, was kind of a lead-in to this episode, or to this series. It's only 10 episodes, And I watched it in one night, which is what you do when new shows come out. And so it's time for the review. It's the first time I'm doing it this season. Being a Power Ranger fanatic, I was really looking forward to it. And maybe it was like when I watched the Once and Always special, I was just hoping for more. But it seemed like it's a 10-episode season, and I'm not trying to spoil anything because I do recommend watching it if you grew up watching Power Rangers, because there's kind of a little at the end that kind of leads me to believe there's going to be another movie special, like Once and Always. Don't know, but it just kind of led me to believe that. But it kind of, I don't know, it does a great job of bringing everything together. I know in one big battle scene, they had the original Megazord and a few of the other Megazords, as well as Billy Cranston was in the episode. I think he was a producer of it. But anyway, it was 10 episodes long, and it's almost like they took 6 episodes and stretched out the whole premise of the season and what's happening, and then in 2 or 3 episodes finished it. So it was almost like they were expecting to do a whole season, 24-episode season, and then was like, no, let's just do 10 and cram the end in. So it seemed a little rushed at the end, and it was just... it was good. It just wasn't what I thought it was going to be. It was better than I thought it was going to be, but I thought there was going to be more to it. I don't know. I thought more people would make appearances. Heckle was in it. Mick Canick was in it. Billy Cranston, and that was really it. And some Megazords at the end. But Lord Zed was in it. Rita played a little part in the end. And then at the end, like, it was just like, I don't know. Okay, so the premise of the whole thing, like I said, I'm not giving anything away. But maybe if I do, spoiler alert. I'm going to try not to, though. So the whole premise of it, at the end of the Dino Fury, Lord Zed came back. And so they went out into the cosmos to fight Lord Zed, hence the Cosmic Rangers. So the whole thing is Lord Zed trying to kidnaps the 5 wizards of the power grid, or the morphing grid, the elders or whatever they're called, and is trying to create a machine to give all of their energy to him, so he'll be the master of the universe, which is He-Man. So no, but anyway, and so he gets the power, and at the end, they go to try and talk to him, more or less saying, if you don't give up this power, the whole world is going to end, including you. So if you want to stay alive, you have to give up all the power you just stole. And he does. What bad guy would do that? Like, the end just seemed like okay, we need to wrap it up somehow. Let's talk him into being good, you know? It didn't make sense, really. And my favorite character lost an arm. It was weird. Anyway, overall, out of 5 head blown emojis, I have to like I said, I am a huge Power Ranger fan. Maybe it's because I thought I was going to get more than I thought. I was expecting more than I got. Or maybe it's just because I don't know. It didn't sit well with me. Like, it kind of came to the end and I was like, oh, that's it? And the ending wasn't even good. Like, the final scene. One of them is a musical artist, and he makes a song of "May the Power Protect You," but they don't know where it came from. It was just in a vision that one of their rangers had, and he tells it to Billy, and Billy's like, where'd you get that? And so he tells him the whole story of how he got it, and Billy's like, did you hear that? He's out there somewhere. And that's why I say I think it kind of left it open for another movie, but that series is final. Anyway, as much as I would love to give it 5 out of 5 or even 4 out of 5, like how it kind of just stretched out the whole moral and then ended it, and because it like I said, maybe like my birthdays, I just got my hopes up and it like was not what I expected it to be, but I'm only giving it 3 out of 5 head blown emojis. I do recommend watching it because maybe it's what you guys expected to see. I don't know. But I don't think there was a lot of fanatic Ranger fans that were actually 100% happy with it, just because I expected, like, they kept promoting these all these special guests, and yeah, they say their names, but they're not in it. And it's just, I don't know. Like I said, I was kind of disappointed, but maybe it's just because when I get my hopes up, they come crashing down. I don't know. Anyway, so that was the review. It's time to begin our segments, and like we have been all month long, it's time to honor pet adoption month, specifically dog adoption month. So it's time for another special edition of Possibly Adorable. So for this segment, I am not focusing on Halloween. It's strictly just dogs. It's not even pet shaming. It's just really cute pictures of dogs. But I do want to say, not just dogs or cats, but if you or anyone in your family or anyone you know is looking to get a pet for your household, be sure to check out your local pet shelters. Please. They always say it, and you never know it until you do it. But not only do you save their lives, but they save yours. And I can stand by that wholeheartedly, 100% behind that. And even when I was a kid, I always thought, you know what? I'm going to adopt my dog. Why? Because Bob Barker on The Price is Right would say, have your pet spayed or neutered. So I don't want... It's like with me and having kids. It ain't going to happen because I hate them. I don't hate kids. I wouldn't throw rocks at them. I'd throw boulders at them. Anyway. So like I said, in today's episode, we're just taking a look at some funny pictures of dogs. And this one I had to take a double take on this one because I was kind of confused as to what I was looking at. And then I realized it's one dog wrapped around the headrest of the car. And it's hilarious just seeing that head popping out of the between the seats like that. Here's the next one. If I can click on it. Now, I have no idea where this dog learned to do this. No idea. And when you see the picture, you're going to fall on your butt in astonishment. So, and if you're a woman, your titties are going to fall off. So hold on to your titties. How is this dog balanced on the fire hydrant? Seriously. And that, I mean, I could understand like a poodle, but a dog like that? Holy crap. And why, even if someone trained it to do that, why would you think to train, hey, I wonder if my dog can stand on that fire hydrant? But what do I know? Here's the next one. This dog has to, like, okay, so I do this thing with my dog every night. She's laying right here and I don't want to wake her up. Because like I said, she's in trouble. So when I go to bed at night, I always wear a pair of jogging pants, and especially in the winter, mesh shorts underneath it, and then obviously my underwear. And when we go to bed, I sleep better when I'm cold. And so I take off my jogging pants and make sure my house is nice and cold. And as a little game her and I do, when we get into bed, she sits there and waits for me to put my pants on her head. And I always say, That's not a hat. Those are my pants, silly. And then she shakes them off her head. She literally will go like this and shake it off. But she waits until I say that. Anyway, this dog just... Why put a soccer ball on its head? It looks like it's someone from like the 40s football teams. Here's the next one. I want to say this is a real picture. I'm pretty sure this is a real picture because I'm pretty good at finding fake pictures on the internet. I took anyway. So I want to pray to the heavens above that this is a real picture because this dog is adorable. But just the way the picture is, I'm not sure. Or just the way the dog is, I should say. Because who's ever seen a dog, granted, who's ever seen a dog on a fire hydrant, but this dog is really confused. He doesn't know what's going on. Huh? Just like, what? It reminds me of a cat my sister used to have, Mary Lou. When she lived on a farm with her family, they had a few cats, and one of the cats accidentally got its head smashed by the garage door. And it lived. It was fine. It totally lived. Great. Yay! But it was cross-eyed and would always walk sideways. Since then. And so my sister, Mary Lou, would call her Cross-Eye. That was the name of the cat. Anyway, just a funny... That dog looked just like Cross-Eye looked after the garage door fell on her head. My sister has a really bad streak with cats. Bad streak. Yeah. Anyway. This dog is just adorable. I mean, if I saw him in the pound, how could you not take this dog home? I mean, seriously. How cute is that? Here's the next one. Now, this is something my sister Betty Sue would do. Because she has a lot of shoes. And these would be just the amount of shoes she has. But you know how when you first get a dog and they love to eat shoes? This person came up with a great idea to keep the dog away from the shoes. Just cram them all on the top. And like I said, that would probably be the amount of shoes Betty Sue would take just on a 3-day vacation. That's right, Betty Sue. I'm talking about your shoe habit. I don't get this picture because it makes me think that they spray painted the yard. I don't know. But this dog is literally rolling around, or maybe trying to match the grass. I don't know. But why? How? What? Huh? Was the dog trying out to be Oscar the Grouch? From this, I don't get it. Here's the next one. Now, I think it is adorable when a dog is able to get 2 balls in his mouth. Anyway. But try 3 balls and a stick. How cute is that? That dog does not want to share. That's my ball, that's my ball, that's my ball, that's my ball. My owner took mine away, and I get all the balls I find now. Here's the next one. Now, when you play fetch with the dog, you find a stick that's maybe a foot long, right? Well, I threw a stick for the dog to go get, but he maybe, unless my stick grew, grabbed the wrong stick. Take a look. He would rather play fetch with this stick. I'm kidding. I didn't throw it. Are you kidding me? I don't let my dog... I don't play with my dog. She plays fetch by herself. And finally, this is Robert. He does this every time he realizes that his walk is over. Lays down on the cement. How cute is that? So the next segment we're going to do today are some really questionable costumes. A lot of them are questionably DIY ones that you make yourself. That makes me think, DIY? Oh, I'm sorry. That was a really bad segue. Let's try that again. No, go back up to the top. There we go. Okay, here we go. Pretend that never happened. Okay, here we go. So the next segment we're going to take a look at are some really weird, kind of bad costumes that people make themselves. And it makes you really think, DIY? Now, I never understood why they take a simple costume and have to make it a sexy costume for women to wear to show off their hoo-has and their bang-bangs. Okay? But I don't think I've ever seen a sexy ghost costume. But I don't think anything about that is sexy because of the sheets. Like, really? Here's the next one. I don't know why someone would let their children be this for Halloween, let alone why a child would choose to be this for Halloween. So why make your child do this to themselves? You're giving, while she's wearing a princess dress. So you know deep down she wanted to be a princess. But no, you're going to be a zipper face. And give her nightmares for the rest of her life. Here's the next one. The SpongeBob, not that bad. It's the Patrick that cracks me up. It's like they didn't even try. I love the face that they gave Patrick. Here's the next one. I love the giraffe costume. The kid being the three heads, fine. But the giraffe costume is what gets my goat. I'm sorry, it doesn't get my goat. It gets my funny bone. It's just like the neck is twice as long as the kid's head, as the kid is total. And that's picturesque of basically the houses in the 80s and 90s. Everybody with a piano in front of the big picture window and, yeah. Anyway. Here's the next one. This is probably, I would buy this costume for $1 bajillion. And because you know that's not a real number, you know this costume's going to be bad. It's, I think, supposed to be Iron Man. I guess that's the point of Comic-Con. To make your own but seriously. Now, I'm assuming this person is gay, and I know what happens when you assume. But like every gay person, you want to be the snake. What do they call those? I totally had it in my head when I was putting it together. The snake charmer. Isn't that it? Isn't that the song? I don't know. You probably didn't even hear, could understand what I was doing anyway. It was a bad bit, okay? I have them every now and every episode. Here's the next one. I don't even know what this person is supposed to be. A piece of bubble gum? A pink blob? I have no idea. Maybe they just didn't know what they wanted to be and made something to look presentable? But is this even really presentable? I mean, what are you? An eraser? I'm going to get emails and be like, can't you tell it's clearly this? No. Clearly I can't. Why? Okay. Just like the little girl who wanted to be a princess and their parents decided that she was going to be a zipper face. Why would you make your child be a toilet? Really? You know under that thing she's wearing a princess dress. I think it would have been funnier if they put a crown on her and let her be a princess, but in reality with the toilet, she's on the throne. No? Okay. Sorry, the button's in a different place now. And I just have to remember where they are. Now, if you thought that the Patrick costume was really bad, this person was attempting to be one of the Teletubbies, but instead, more like an alien with a dildo on its head. I don't know. I don't make the costumes, people. I just make fun of them. And finally, in this category, what better costume when your child doesn't know what they want than just putting a pumpkin on their head? One thing, as you guys know about me, is that I hate stupid people. No stupid people. You know I hate stupid people. And if you ever come to my island, you will be rocketed off my island. Who cares where you land? Whatever. Anyway, one thing that is scary to me is the fact that some signs are made because people do stupid things. That's right. It's time for my new segment. Take it as a sign. For the record, in this episode, they're not all about firm, stupid people. They're just hilarious signs. Okay? I did the wrong intro. I did the one for next week. Okay? Anyway. Here's the first one. Why would you put a sign up? Spend the tax dollars to pay someone to put up a sign that says, sign not in use. Does that mean no deaf people beyond that point? Because that's kind of discriminatory. Here's the next one. This one is hilarious. It took me a minute to understand it. The inventor of autocorrect died. The funnel will be held tomato. And no, I'm not British. It's just better when you say tomato. Potato. I have to say potato, though. I like to say tomato. And I'll say tomato, tomato. Okay. That is funnel. Here's the next one. I hope when I inevitably choke to death on gummy bears, people will just say that I was killed by bears and leave it at that. My favorite gummy bears? Haribo. They're the best. And this is going to sound weird because they're kind of hard to chew anyway. Better frozen. Try them frozen. It's like when you were a kid and you were teething and you loved just chewing on something to make it's nice. Anyway, so this one apparently is supposed to be trying to be funny, or maybe there's really a hidden message in there. But whatever it is, it's a private, so don't read it. It is penalty of law if you read this sign. Damn it! Here's the next one. I would buy this sign. Notice. If you notice this notice, you will notice that this notice is not worth noticing. I would buy that sign. If anyone out there really wants to give me a birthday present still, that's what I want. Here's the next one. Everything happens for a reason. Sometimes the reason is you're stupid and make bad decisions. I wish a lot more people in the world would realize that. Like Producer Man leaving the show. Bad decision and you're stupid. Here's the next one. This one really makes me think I know why they had to put this up. Let's see if you can figure it out. 10 poles are not for pole dancing. Please find alternative ways to disappoint your father. So you know, someone tried to pole dance on one of those tent poles and the whole thing came crashing down. You know it. Here's the next one. This must be... Okay, so you know how when GPS thinks they're awesome and they know everything. I remember when we were driving down to Florida one year with my nephews. So, I mean, I was an adult. We were driving and we pulled over into this town to get gas or go to the bathroom or something. I don't remember. Probably both. Maybe even eat lunch. And as we were leaving, it started taking us this certain way. And we were kind of like, these roads are... Like, if this is a way people take to get back to the interstate all the time, these roads are horrible. Like, they're old and battered and weeds coming out of, you know. And you have to realize at some point, hey, the GPS is wrong. This must be at the same place. Like, Google must be taking people to the same place all the time in order for someone to put up a sign that says, Google is wrong, make a U-turn. You kind of have to use your smarts, too. I mean, I do remember in that route, it was telling us that we were supposed to turn left, but left was a fenced-in parking lot. This was a dead end, fenced-in parking lot, a house. But we were supposed to turn left. And it's not because, like, it was just outdated. No, it was like the fence was rotting. Like iron. Obviously that doesn't rot. But it was like rusted and had obviously been there for a long time. You don't think MapQuest or Google Maps or something like that would have picked up on that. Anyway, here's the next one. Maybe they didn't want fingerprints on the ice cream freezers. I don't know. But it says... It's kind of funny, though. It says, please do not tap on glass. It scares the ice cream. Makes people not tap on the glass. Now, if I ever owned a knick-knack store, as my mother would call them, a knick-knack store, this would be the name of my store. Let's see if I can say it right. Unnecessary necessities. If you need it, we don't sell it. Well, that will do it for this week and for week 2 of our why do I keep wanting to say back to school? Of our spectacular month. It just reminds me that I have 3 more weeks to figure out 2 more weeks before I have to figure out what I'm going to be for Halloween. Anyway, maybe I'll go as a Blackhawks fan. I don't know. That was rather weird. But anyway, thank you so much for joining me. Be sure to join me next week as we continue our back-to-school month, as we continue our spooktacular month, and even though it's dog adoption month, we have some cat pictures. Why? Because I don't feature cats a lot. Because they're pussies. Anyway, so yeah, be sure to join me next week. We're also going to take a look at some more hilariously bad costumes. So, anyway, if you think there's something funny I should see and share on the show, be sure to send it to me. There are my socials, my email address, as well as my Twitter, or X, or whatever he calls it now. But since you have a second, because I'm going to babble here for a minute, please like, subscribe, and turn on the notifications. I'm sorry. Please like, subscribe, and turn on the notifications for any time I post an episode. Also, comment below, and please especially do that one right there. Let's help the less fortunate have a better Christmas. Make me put money in that pot. Only $7 right now. So, yes, no, $8. I don't know. We have 57 subscribers from 49, so yeah, $8. Anyway, so at least make me donate $10. We need 2 more subscribers for that. But anyway, no. Yeah, sorry. I was thinking I was at 58. I'm at 57. Anyway, so I promise I'm trying to end the show. But yeah, please click that subscribe button. Help me make me help the less fortunate have a better Christmas. And let's give some money to Toys for Tots. But until next week, everybody, please stay safe, stay healthy, stop the hate. And until then, that's all I'm saying.